Welcome back to the channel. Today on my 2007 Honda Element SC, I'm going to be taking off the headlights, putting them in the oven, baking them at 200 degrees, taking out this amber lens, painting it chrome, putting it back in, and then restoring the headlights. So let's get into it. First things first, I'm going to pop the hood and we're going to take off the front bumper. Now get a cinematic shot of the hood opening. So to start for the bumper removal, I already have the bottom splash shield removed. So I only have two push pins underneath holding the bumper. I'm going to take those off first just so the bumper doesn't fall on me. Right here and right here. Now I'm going to take this cover off. I have one of these amazing Harbor Freight pin remover tools, and every Honda Element owner needs one of these. Now there's...
I knew you were going to do that.
Should I do the same thing with the bumper?
Yeah. Same thing with the headlights.
There's no screw holding this on anymore. There's supposed to be an 8mm in here. There's an 8mm bolt right here. Now the bumper should just pull off, I think.
You gotta undo the headlight things. You gotta take a long flathead.
Oh, down here?
Yeah. Like that.
Oh, I just broke it. Is there one more?
Yep.
There's clips in there, I guess, that hold the bumper to the headlight. So now that the bumper's off, we have to take the headlights off. How do you take the headlights off? We've got three 10mm bolts holding on these headlights.
Thank God we have the 1/2-inch drive.
Yeah. All right, so there's 4 bolts holding that on. So this is what the back of the SC headlight looks like. This is the front with the amber. I should have took a before picture, but
You probably
have one somewhere. Yeah, I guess we're going to take it inside, take off this bracket, and I'll meet you in the kitchen. So now I'm just going to take this bottom bracket off. It's just held on by this 10mm. And then on the top, there's a 10mm here and a 10mm there. So now there's these Torx screws all the way around. There's one here, and one over here that I'm going to take off that hold the plastic pieces together. And there was a screw right here that I took out.
Here, good. Like it. What else? What else to do? Can I steal a beer?
So I got the oven going at 200 degrees. Once it's preheated, I'm going to put the headlight in on this baking sheet for 15 minutes. Basically what we're going to do here is pry these clips back. It's not that hot to the touch. And stick a screwdriver right in here.
Well, it definitely didn't burn because it's in there good. Let's just try to keep prying it. Unless your side's like terrible.
There we go.
Just try to keep separating this until it can peel. I think this is able to, like, this is fine.
Yeah. Should we flip it over now under the back?
Let's try to keep doing this. I still got some more to do. Hold on. Alright, now try. Perfect.
So this is my headlight. This is another headlight that we tested first, and somehow we burned this lens. So as you can see, luckily mine is not burnt. What did we do to make that?
We just kept it in for too long. That's what it was.
We had this one in for 20 minutes, and this one we only had in for 15.
Yeah.
It's really easier to pry the lens off when it's that much hotter. But as you can see, it burned the lens. And where are you going to find that lens? Realistically, nowhere. So it's worth a little bit extra struggle prying the lens out not to burn it. So please just don't burn these and put them in for 200 at 15 with the lens facing down. That'll just generate enough heat in the oven without the heat going directly on to that.
Yeah, and tell them to. I don't even know if they can hear me. They probably can, honestly. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah. So even like if you want to take it out a little bit earlier, just to make sure, like 10 minutes in, and try to pry this up, you can still, like, if you're not able to get it, you can still put it back in the oven for a few more minutes and then try it again. But yeah, like he said, I would recommend struggling a little bit more trying to peel this off than end up having this, because this is irreversible damage and it's not going to look good.
So here is the inside of the lens. The objective of this video is to remove this amber lens right here. So to do that, there's 4 Phillips head screws we're going to remove. And then all this stuff just lifts right out. I'm not going to be doing anything with this or anything else in here, so I'm just going to set it all to the side. Now the goal of this, I could just put the headlight lens back on and be done, but it looks incomplete because this space here, I think this is the low beam. This is where the low beam is. If you just remove this completely, there's a gap and it doesn't look quite right. So we're going to be leaving this and then cutting with the Dremel this piece off, and on the test you can see this is the piece that we're going to be cutting off. So I've got the Dremel 3000 with a metal cutting bit, and cameraman's just going to hold this for me as I cut all around.
I'm gonna put it down.
Okay. This is what cut number 1 looks like. Now, unless the corners are still stuck, this should technically pop out. Sometimes the plastic remelts back into place though. So now that we have this main piece separated, I'm going to take a different attachment on the Dremel and smooth all these lips down so it's flush.
How much you want to bet, YouTube, that Stacy is gonna see this? She's gonna see our headlights and be like, "I want you to do that to mine." How much do you want to bet?
How about
Predicting.
one of your SCs?
Yeah, I'll give you my best one.
The R title?
No, better the no title.
No title, no key.
Yeah.
Rear end. This can't be good to breathe in.
What a terrible way to spend a Saturday.
Now that pretty much everything is smooth the way I want it, I'm going to just sandpaper as much as I can just to kind of smooth out these edges and rough up this clear plastic before I paint over top. Alright, so I sanded this down. I'm going to take it outside and spray paint it with this chrome spray paint I have. Good for coat one?
Yep.
Alrighty, this is all painted. I used the chrome spray paint. It really did not turn out chrome. I mean, it's a little bit better than silver, but we're just gonna use it. So, oh, and you can also see here, I did not do the best job grinding this down and sanding it. But once it's all installed, I don't think you're really gonna notice. It's really hard because this is such thin, flimsy plastic to make a nice smooth sand. So to put this back in, line it up like so. Make sure this goes underneath that little lip right there. And that pushes down, and then you take this piece and that kind of snaps in. And then all you do is put those 4 screws back in. Now that we have the silver piece installed, that's painted silver, I'm going to be restoring these headlights once they're back on the car, so don't worry about that. But I'm going to come over here. This is inside of the headlight. It's beautiful. We're going to put this in the oven to warm up the glue. But first I'm going to put some silicone in here, and hopefully it's not flammable. Did you read the guidelines?
We don't put silicone until after.
Yeah, I was going to do it so it gets warm.
Oh, okay.
Just make sure it's not flammable. Warning, something highly flammable. Okay, we should be good. This is not highly flammable, I hope. I just skimmed over the warnings. But I'm going to put a bead of this all the way around. And we got clear. You don't need clear. We didn't realize that you're not going to see any that leaks out. But let's just run a bead of this. Good enough. We're going to put this in the oven at 200 degrees. The oven's been on since literally noon, and it's 10 p.m. The AM PM is running. And it's been on at 200 degrees. We've been doing test headlights. Then we've been doing these. And I don't know what happened, but it's 10 hours later. So I'm going to throw this in the oven for 10 minutes.
Look at that nice clean oven, folks.
No, I wanted to put it in upside down.
Uh-oh. Chef Alex keeps it clean.
We had a mishap with the test headlight, and I don't know if it was facing up, but you can see clearly this one's burned and that one's not. So I want all this stuff facing down into the cookie sheet. Now Kathy Mitchell probably not approve of this recipe. Who else bakes?
Betty Crocker.
Yeah, but I like Kathy Mitchell better.
You have to be above the age of 40 to know who that woman is.
You don't know who Kathy Mitchell is?
No.
She sells the GT Express. Ready, set, go.
So let's join my friend Kathy Mitchell.
Are you ready for the family cookie?
I am so ready. The kukitsa.
All right, now this is one big cookie.
No, I do not know her.
Who's the lady that yells, "I'm making smoothies"? I'll find the video.
I'm making smoothies!
So the oven has about 3 minutes left. I'm just gonna heat up the adhesive that's stuck to this, just to make it a little bit more sticky for when I join the two back together. So now I'm just going to push this back into place. And I'm just going to go around with this pair of pliers and squeeze the lens and the plastic housing together until all these tabs click into place. Now I'm just going to put this Phillips screw back in. And these 3 Torx screws. And then I'm just going to wipe up any silicone that came out. And then I just have to put those 2 brackets back on. For now, this headlight is done. I'm going to do the other one. I'm not going to show you because it's the same process. And then I'll follow up when I go to reinstall these in the car. It's the next day. Now that both headlights are done, I'm going to reinstall them into the car. Now right here was a little light. It was this one. And it was burned out on both of my headlights. So I bought white LEDs. I was going to put them in here. But I think I'm going to go back and change them to yellow so it matches the blinker. And it was on this connector right here. I would recommend putting the bulbs in before you bolt the headlight in because it's very difficult to get to these bulbs. Moment of truth. I already sanded the lenses, so I have my ceramic coating. Here we go. Now we move on to the next light. Did I miss anything? No. This pretty much wraps up the video on taking the clear lenses out of these lights. And let me tell you, it looks amazing. So this is the high beam, that's the low beam. This is the blinker and parking light. And right there is a little side marker light. So here's how everything looks. I am gonna change this out for a white light. I want an LED white parking light and turn signal. There's the white reflector light, which was burned out on my other set. And then the new 30,000 lumen headlights. And that looks great. It's really gonna look good once this orange light is back to white. Now, it probably took us 18 hours to do these 2 lights, and then a set of test lights. 18 hours included taking the lights off the car, heating them up, separating the lenses, cutting out the pieces, painting them with several coats of spray paint, putting them back together in the oven, and then putting them back on the car. I'd say if you're gonna do this, I'd set about 6 hours aside for 2 headlights. Now looking close, this is what we painted silver. And you can see it's not perfect, but when you back up, it's okay. And then this piece right here that goes around, we painted that also, and right inside of here would have been the amber reflector. So where we ground this down, it's not very smooth, and we tried to sand, but it was getting so late last night. But if you back up a little bit, you don't notice that at all. So would I do it again? Yes. Would Junked Elements do it again? No. But I think it looks so much better now than what it did before, and it was definitely worth it. Thank you guys for watching. Here's the conclusion of my headlight video. I think they look a lot better on the blue SC than than my silver SC here. But definitely worth it. Would I do it again? Maybe. I'm not sure though. It took a long time. Thank you for watching. Fast forward a few weeks. I ended up doing white switchback LEDs for the blinker. And I had to find the right ones with the CK socket. So let me turn the blinker on now, you can see. This is with those switchback So they switch from white to yellow when the blinker goes. I think they look really good. I'm still contemplating what to do about the fog lights, because on Logan's car he's got white fog lights and I think they look pretty good with all the other white lighting. But let me know in the comments what you think. To finish up the video, here's both cars parked next to each other with both amber lenses deleted. He still has to switch out the yellow bulbs for the LED switchbacks, but really does look amazing. Thank you for watching. This is literally my 7th time ending this video, just because I never liked the end lighting. It's always too dark or too light. So I'm just gonna do it today, the day that I'm finishing editing the video. Low beam, high beam, not on right now. That's the blinker slash front parking light. This is the side marker light. I'll see if I can put the light bulb numbers up on the screen. I do have the yellow fog lights. This is with those switchback blinkers. It does bug me that the amber turn signal does not match the yellow fog light. Maybe I'll see if I can get amber fog light bulbs. And here's a look without the headlights on, just the marker lights and the blinkers. You can see when they're not flashing, they go back to white. And this is headlights off with the flashers on. Very, very bright. The brightest blinkers I've ever seen in person. Thank you for watching for the 7th time.